Welcome back. Chris Wallace here, advisor to men. So let's talk about historical context and modern shifts a little bit. Men and women have probably always banded together to take advantage of each other's strengths and to shore up each other's weaknesses. However, the agricultural area over the last 11,000 years or so often saw men in dominant roles. Today, these dynamics have shifted considerably. Ideally, relationships are more about equality and mutual respect, with both genders bringing their unique strengths and vulnerabilities. This is a good thing. Team human must be our guiding principle. Now let's talk about women's choices and men's responses to those choices. My understanding that women choose men based on their power potential, his ability to defend, deliver, and decide, and his kindness, because she's going to have children with him and she doesn't want somebody who will hurt her kids. She creates life, so needs a benevolent defender. These are concepts not limited to physical or financial aspects alone, but also encompass qualities like confidence, emotional strength, and resilience. On the other side, men are typically drawn to physical attributes such as her beauty and a certain hip-to-waist ratio. Lest we never forget, it is loyalty which keeps him longer term. These are nature's dictates. In modern settings, these preferences are nuanced as both men and women seek deeper, more meaningful qualities in partners. Both sexes now struggle in the gap between their basic archetypal longings and the confusion of today's cultural reality. That's where I come in, hopefully bringing you clarity to your confusion and what can be misinformation, which is the current term for bullshit. Now let's talk about navigating modern challenges. Modern relationships face unique challenges, including balancing career ambitions with personal life and navigating gender roles, maintaining individual identities within a partnership, all of that stuff. These challenges require a new understanding of power dynamics, where control and dominance give way to collaboration and mutual support. She's not a version of me. She's a woman. I'm not a version of her. And it makes no sense to ever apologize for being a man, unless it gets me laid in that moment. You understand? Let's talk about communication, the key to balance. Effective communication is pivotal in maintaining power dynamics. It's essential for partners to express their needs, boundaries, and expectations clearly. Open dialogue helps prevent misunderstandings, fostering a relationship based on trust and equality. Sweeping it under the rug is a doomed strategy. Failure to perform regular maintenance on how to resolve problems results in one or both sides carrying anger, and that anger often turns into contempt, and contempt is disrespect, and it kills relationships. Why? Because loyalty and respect create trust. Without trust, you have nothing. Now let's talk about emotional intelligence and empathy even. How important is this? Particularly in understanding and navigating power dynamics. Empathy and the ability to understand a partner's perspective can play a significant role in creating a harmonious balance of power. A couple who can artfully paraphrase each other day to day and during times of stress are also likely to have regular orgasms together. That's my contention. Let's talk about redefining strength and vulnerability. Strength is no longer about dominance, but about resilience, understanding, and emotional openness. Similarly, vulnerability is not weakness, but a courageous willingness to be open and authentic. That said, she always needs a powerful man. Vulnerability that makes her his caregiver should be resisted at all costs. Think nature. This instinct in her is largely irrepressible, and it falls to man to remain aware of her good intentions and allow them expression without being infantilized in the process. Think about that. Now let's talk about the role of societal influences a little bit. These significantly influence power dynamics. Recognizing and addressing these expectations and stereotypes can help partners understand their behaviors and attitudes within the relationship. Realize family members and close friends have influence. Men tend to have large group bias and belong to many social spheres, whereas women's lives will revolve primarily around close friends and family. When my daughter was born, Mrs.'s sister visited, and suddenly Mrs. wanted her in daycare so she could go back to work. She asked that I take on 50% of the childcare duties as well. What did I do? Well, I paraphrased, of course, so that I really understood where she was coming from. My answer was to tell her that the child was going to one day say her first words, say mama or papa, stand for the first time, walk for the first time, and dozens of other firsts. I told her that one of us should be there for that. I said to her that I would like to give her a gift if she'd let me by making it possible that she witness all of our child's firsts. Could she do that for me? Could she do that for the both of us? There would be plenty of time for her to work and pursue a career eventually, and that we would do this together. So Mrs. stayed home until daughter and a son 2 years later started school. She began a photography business when the kids were toddlers and had shoots many weekends here at Rooster Acres. And when the boy was at school half days, she started to clean houses. She started a whole business. She got two of her girlfriends involved in it too. In time, she upgraded her education and secured a full-time position at a school for developmentally delayed kids. And she loves her work. Not only that, she's got great benefits, and they cover me too. Turns out my little girl was super fussy. Her auntie and missus would try to get her to sleep and give up in frustration. You know who could put her to sleep? Yours truly. I joked with them that I was the baby whisperer. They didn't laugh, not even a smile. And the child's first word, dada. Forget about it. Now let's end by talking about equality and respect. Equality is the foundation of healthy power dynamics in a relationship. This involves respecting each other's opinions, sharing responsibilities, and supporting each other's goals and aspirations. Listen, the best thing you'll ever learn to do is to be a masterful paraphraser in your relationship. The second best thing you will ever learn to do in your relationship is to say no nicely. And if you can, the third best thing you will ever learn to do in your relationship is to speak from your imaginative, curious, creative, intuitive, exploratory side, and to speak to that part of her as well. Power dynamics in modern relationships are complex and they're multifaceted, but they don't trump Mother Nature. They require a delicate balance of understanding, communication, and mutual respect for each other, with nature in the background as a silent third-party witness to your union. She is the burdened female, precious creator of life. You are the expendable male, powerful defender of life. By embracing these dynamics, partners can build strong, enduring relationships that are adaptive and equitable. Together, remember, you are team human. Holler if you have any questions about these things. Make comments if you like to. And I hope that helps someone. Until next time, you know the routine. Subscribe, tell your friends, send them the link. Power and love. Stay true and free. Thanks for listening.